Hours, not days, not weeks. Hours after saying goodbye to his father, an 11-year-old boy strapped into a race car and drove. That is not a metaphor. That is exactly what happened at Charlotte Motor Speedway on Tuesday night, and it may be the most quietly powerful moment in NASCAR this year. Here's what went down. Brexton Busch, son of the late Kyle Busch, was back behind the wheel of his neon green number num 18 Legend Car the evening of June 2nd, just hours after a private memorial service for his father was held in the Charlotte area. He was running practice laps for the CookOut Summer Shootout, a weekly Legend Car series held at Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. Charlotte Motor Speedway posted photos of him on track. The Serve Pro 19 was also out. Kyle Larson's son Keelan Harvick was there too. Brexton is set to race in round 1 of the Summer Shootout on Monday, June 8th. To understand why this moment hits differently, you need the full picture. Kyle Busch, a 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion and the sport's all-time leader in combined wins across NASCAR's top 3 national series with 234 victories, passed away on May 21st at just 41 years old. Complications from severe pneumonia progressed into sepsis. 6 days before he died, he drove into victory lane in a Truck Series race at Dover, his last race, his last win. Kyle was not just Brexton's father. He was his crew chief, his coach, his constant presence at the track since Brexton started racing at 6 years old. The two were inseparable in the garage. If you watched even one race weekend involving Kyle Busch in recent years, you saw Brexton nearby. NASCAR came together at Charlotte for a unified moment of mourning. Drivers, crews, fans, the grief was real, and it was wide. And then days later, Kyle Larson hinted at a private service after winning his dirt race in Iowa. Retired legend Mark Martin put it plainly the next morning, "My eyes watered a lot yesterday." Let's be honest about what we're actually watching here, because this goes beyond sports. Brexton Busch is 11 years old. He won 48 races last year. Not 48 starts, 48 wins. Across Legend Cars, Bandoleros, Micros, Bandits, late models, and sprint cars. He is the defending Legend Car national champion. The talent is not in question, but what Tuesday night showed was something harder to quantify. Grief does not follow a schedule, and racing is one of those rare pursuits where the act of doing it, the concentration it demands, the physical discipline it requires, genuinely forces the mind into the present. For a grieving child who grew up on racetracks, getting back behind the wheel was likely not just an impulse, it was probably the most natural thing he could do. From a developmental standpoint, this is a critical juncture. The Summer Shootout is not low-stakes recreation, it draws serious young talent. Last year, Cup drivers like Bubba Wallace and Shane Van Gisbergen stepped into Legend Cars for this event, and Van Gisbergen's recent oval performances suggest those laps might matter more than fans realize. Brexton will be racing against and alongside proven competitors. He will be performing under a microscope. Every lap he turns will carry weight far beyond the result. The question is whether that pressure helps him or hurts him. And right now, the early evidence says this kid handles pressure the way his father did, by showing up and going fast. There is also a legacy dimension here that deserves attention. Kyle Busch himself came up through Legend Cars right there in Las Vegas. Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Dale Earnhardt Jr. They all came through this exact pipeline. If Brexton continues on this trajectory, we may be watching the beginning of a NASCAR career that one day honors everything his father built. The reaction across NASCAR has been a rare convergence of respect and admiration, and that is saying something in a fan base that has always had complicated feelings about the Busch family name. Even people who spent years booing Kyle Busch from the grandstands are acknowledging the weight of this moment. Seeing an 11-year-old honor his father by doing the one thing they both loved, that cuts through tribalism. Social media lit up the moment Charlotte Motor Speedway posted those practice photos. Many of the Legend Cars at Tuesday's session had decals memorializing Kyle, which added another layer to an already emotional night. The consensus is the same across casual fans and hardcore NASCAR insiders. Whatever you thought of Kyle Busch, the driver, you respect what this family is showing right now. Brexton uses the Summer Shootout as the anchor point in his grief, channeling his father's relentless drive into results on the track. He performs at his usual elite level, earns the admiration of the entire garage, and sets the tone for a career path that eventually leads to NASCAR's top tier. The sport gains a generational story that carries Kyle Busch's legacy forward in the most meaningful way possible. The emotional weight of racing in his father's absence proves heavier than expected once the competition actually starts. The pressure being watched, analyzed, and emotionally loaded every time he straps in becomes a burden rather than a release. That does not mean the racing career ends. It may simply mean the road is harder and longer than it otherwise would have been. Grief is not linear, and 11 is very young to carry this much. Here's what I want to leave you with. Brexton Busch did not have to race Tuesday night. Nobody was making him. He chose to. Hours after saying goodbye to his father, he went to the place where they had always been together, and he drove. That tells you everything you need to know about what kind of competitor this kid is going to be. But here's the question I want you to answer in the comments. Is getting back in the car this fast the right move for a grieving 11-year-old, or is the racetrack exactly where he needs to be right now? There is no wrong answer here, and I genuinely want to hear your take. If this kind of story matters to you, the stuff happening beyond the standings, the human side of motorsport, hit subscribe. We cover all of it here at SportsWire USA.